I'm going to show you exactly how to install myClickBoss Pro on your own server. You can watch over my shoulder while I install the script on one of my domains and get it ready for use. My name's Rob Wissenant and I'm the creator of myClickBoss Pro. I'll be going over each step needed to successfully install myClickBoss Pro. The process is very simple if you take it one step at a time. Between this video walkthrough and the installation manual, you should be able to get myClickBoss Pro installed on your server in just a short period of time. I'll be installing version 2.11 of myClickBoss Pro in this tutorial. Let's get started with installing myClickBoss Pro. Just pause the video between each step if you want to go ahead and install the script as you watch. I'm going to assume you've already downloaded myClickBoss Pro to your local computer. So what you want to do is unzip it into a working directory so we can get at the files that need to be edited before they're uploaded to your server. First step we want to do after unzipping it is to open the installation manual. It's called the installation manual. It's in PDF format. Okay, here's the installation manual. Okay, before you actually install myClickBoss Pro, you need to make some decisions and perform a few preliminary steps. The first decision you need to make is decide where you want to install myClickBoss Pro. You can install it in the root public HTML folder of a domain or a subfolder of a domain. You can also install it on a subdomain. One warning I want to give you: if you've got WordPress installed on a site, it's really not that good of an idea to install myClickBoss Pro on the same domain. A lot of bad, misbehaving WordPress installs take over the entire site, and they'll try to reroute clicks to myClickBoss Pro or any script for that matter through WordPress. It's not a pretty site. The best thing to do is install myClickBoss Pro on its own domain or put it on a subdomain of a domain you already own. The next decision you need to make is what GeoIP location database you want to use. myClickBoss Pro supports paid and free databases from both Maxmine and IP2 location. In this video, I'll be using the free database from Maxmine. Okay, let's go over to the Maxmine site and grab a copy of that database. Here you want to go into Products. It'll say GeoLite 2 Databases. You click on that, it'll bring you to a screen basically telling you you need to have an account on Maxmine and you have to be logged in to download them. The account's easy to set up, it's free, doesn't cost you anything. You will need it to be able to download the database. Once you've created your account and logged in, you can go to the Download Files area and you're looking for the GeoLite 2 Country database. You do not want the CSV format. You want just the plain GeoLite 2 Country. You can click the Download gzip link. This will download it to your local computer. Once you've got it on your local computer, you're going to want to untar and unzip this file as well. I've got 7-zip installed. I'm going to extract that file. And it gives me the tar file. I'm going to go back in and I want to extract that file also. It's going to give me a folder. I can double click, get in, you'll see the GeoLite 2 Country MMDB file. We're going to be needing that later. So just get it unzipped, have it in your working directory, and when we need it, I'll let you know. Next step is you're going to need a plain text editor to edit the files. It's very, very important that you do not use one that uses magic quotes. They will screw up PHP files and give you a really major headache trying to figure out what in the world's going on and why it's not working. The one I like is Notepad++. It's a nice free text editor. It works very well for our purpose. Okay, the first step was we want to go in and get the GeoLite 2 Country database that we downloaded. So we're going to go in here, locate the file. We're going to copy that file. Go back to where we unzipped the myClickBoss Pro. Go into the public HTML folder, then into admin, and then you're going to see when it says geo. You want to paste that file right here. Now that that's done, we need to get the files that we need to edit and open them in Notepad++ or whatever text editor you're using. So we'll go into the public HTML folder. The first one we're going to need to edit in a bit is the install.inc.php. We want to open that with Notepad++. And now let's go in and get the second file that we'll be editing. That one's in the admin folder. And that is config.inc.php. Let's open it in Notepad++. So now we've got the two files that we need to edit. Okay, let's go back to the manual. The next step we'll be performing is to create an empty MySQL database. I'll be doing this through cPanel on this server. You may use a different control panel. If you're not sure how to do what I'm about to show you in your type of control panel, contact your host, see if they can give you a hand. So let's go to the site and log into cPanel. Okay, now that I'm logged into cPanel, I'm going to go to the MySQL database wizard. Okay, I'm going to create a database name. We're going to call it MCB Pro. Keep it easy. And we need to create a user. We'll name it the same, MCB Pro. Now we need a password. You want this password to be fairly strong. Nothing anybody can guess. What I would recommend do is using a random sequence of letters and numbers. You're going to want to add that password to the config.inc.php file where it says password. Put it between the two quote marks. Okay, we're going to copy that, paste it into the cPanel. We're going to create the user. Now this is a very important step. You want to click all privileges when creating this user and then click next step. Now we're done. The empty database is now complete. We're going to want to copy the full username and database name and put it in the config file. Let's see, let's go back over there. So we got the user and the database name. Click Save. That's all we got to do with that file. Okay, let's go back to the manual and proceed to the next step. We'll be editing the install.inc.php file in this step. Okay, you've already got it open in Notepad++ or another text editor, so let's go to it. You're going to want to enter your first name in the name field between the quotes. Okay, after you've entered your name, you're going to want to enter the email address you want to use to log in to MyClickBoss Pro admin area. The next line between the quotes, single quotes, you're going to want to enter a password that you'll be using to log in to the admin area. The next line, we're going to want to enter the geo IP service company that we used. It was MaxMind. You can look in the manual, it'll show you what to enter. Now we're going to want to enter the name of the database that we just downloaded from them. So let's go back, look at that database name, copy it, enter it between the quotes, and save the install.inc.php file. Let's return to the manual, go to the next step. The next step is to create the installation folder. If you're installing this in a subfolder, you'll need to do this. If you're installing it in the public HTML folder, you're not going to need to do this. In the case of this tutorial, I'm installing it directly in the public HTML folder, so I will not need to do this step. Now I'm going to need to upload all the script files. So I'm going to open up FileZilla. I've already logged in to the actual site. Now I'm going to go over to the public HTML folder. Now I want to go into the public HTML folder of the working directory where we unzipped all the files. And I'm going to select all these files and folders, and I'm going to upload. We've got about 600 files to upload. Depending on your internet speed connection, this could take several minutes. Okay, all the files are uploaded. Let's go back to the manual and move on to the next step. Since we copied the geolocation database to the geo folder, it's already uploaded, so we don't have to worry about this step. Now we need to move on to file permissions. Okay, some of the files need to have their permissions set to 666 on the server so they can be written to. The install file should do this for you, but if it does not, it gives you a problem, says it can't change the permissions on a file. I'm going to show you how to manually do this. These are the actual files that we'll be changing the permissions on. And I want you to note one thing: in your particular FTP program, please note that files that begin with a dot are sometimes hidden. You would need to change the settings in your FTP program or cPanel to show hidden files if you do not see them. So let's go back over to FileZilla. We're going to go into the admin folder. This is where these files are. Here's two of them. We're going to select those two, right click, and click on File Permissions. Change this to 666 and click OK. Let's sort these by file type so we can find them a little bit easier. Okay, we're going to take the other files and select them that need to have their permissions changed. Right click, File Permissions, again 666, and click OK. Now that that's done, let's go back to the manual and see what the next step is. The next step is to run the install.php script. So let's go to the domain that we just installed everything on. And we're going to run the install script. Okay, here's the screen you're going to see. Hopefully, if you got an error, you need to fix the error and run it again. Now I want you to look at these two dates right here. It's very important that these are identical or within a second or two of each other. If they're not, That means PHP and MySQL are reporting two different dates and times. You'll need to get your host to fix this before you proceed. Don't do anything until these two dates are the same. Okay, now that this is complete, let's go back to the manual and move to the next step. Okay, the next step, we're going to test the Geo IP services to make sure they are working properly. So we're going to go to the site again and go to the geotest.php file. This should show you exactly what country you're in and the country code. I'm in the United States, it says US. Okay, we know that's working. Let's go back to the manual and move on to the next step. Okay, the next step, we're going to want to log into the admin area, see if everything's working. Let's go to the admin area. You can be prompted to enter the username and password that you selected when you installed the script. Okay, I've successfully logged into the admin area, so let's go back to the manual and go on to the next step. Okay, the next step is to delete the install files. You're going to want to delete these two files right here. You can do that through your FTP program. Let's go back and do that. Okay, here they are. I'm going to delete them. Okay, now let's go back to the manual and see what the next step is. Okay, the next step is to install the initial bot and crawler blocking databases. So let's go back to the admin area. You want to go down here in the left-hand menu, click on Admin, click on Update Databases. Down here, you're going to click on Choose File, navigate to where you unzipped MyClickBoss Pro, and you want to find the bot and crawler import files folder. Double-click that. We're going to choose the first one, click Open, and click Update. You'll see a green bar up here if everything's successful. Now we're going to go back and choose the next file, the bot signature file, click Open, click Update. Once that's done, let's go back and get the last one. Some of these may take a little while to actually install. Just give it a little bit of time. We got the third one. I'm going to click Update. Okay, we can see this one's finished. MyClickBoss Pro is ready to use. Well, that's all there is to installing MyClickBoss Pro. Check out the other videos to learn how to use the different features. And I'll pass along some tips and tricks along the way. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to post them below. If you have not already, click the subscribe button and then ring the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos posted. Thank you for watching this video. Until next time, I'll see you soon.